Hello and welcome to another update. In this one, I'll be covering the latest news from the Bakhmut front. But first off, about the ammunition saga. So we haven't really heard Prigozhin talking about the lack of ammunition rate lately, and that's most likely because he says here Shoigu has been in Bakhmut for the past week. Sergei Shoigu, who is the defense minister of the Russian Federation. So apparently, according to him, that is what is happening. And make sure to stay tuned for the end of the video because we have seen a huge Russian breakthrough in Bakhmut. Moving on, we see here in the Soledar area that according to Remy, the Ukrainian forces actually launched an attack in this direction. They gathered up a battalion of infantry using infantry fighting vehicles and armored personnel carriers, as well as a company of tanks. So that is over a dozen tanks and about a few dozen infantry fighting vehicles and armored personnel carriers. So with this, we see that they launched a significant offensive, not a major one, but a significant one. Yet according to Remy, the Wagner forces managed to hold them back and they didn't achieve any success. So we'll have to see, according to other sources, when they report on it later on, or if they don't report on it, how true this is. And before we move on to the next point, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it helps me out a lot and you'll get the latest news when they arrive. And then we also see this video here from Bakhmut. And as we can see in this video, we see that the Russian forces are completely shelling the citadel area, the domino area of the citadel area. So we see here that the Ukrainian forces launched this drone where they take it from this perspective and then they look down at the citadel area. And this is very interesting because we see this insane amount of shelling on this specific area. This concentrated area. And as we can see, there's no lack of shells at all. Towards the end of the video, we see just how much smoke that is rising from this area. Like, it's crazy. And then we move on to the southern flank, where we see here the Ukrainian section managed to capture further parts of the northwest of Klishchiivka. However, they have now reached the highlands of Klishchiivka, which means that this is where the important battles will happen. If the Ukrainians manage to break through further, then they'll most likely capture Klishchiivka itself, as Klishchiivka itself is in a lowland where the northwestern parts, which the Russian forces are holding right now, are the highlands. So we'll be seeing the most important fights happening right here, right now, in the coming days, whether or not the Ukrainians will be able to capture Klishchiivka or whether the Wagner forces and Russian forces will be able to hold it. Then we look at Bakhmut itself, where we see the Russian forces managed to capture the Bakhmut Children's Hospital and fully capture the whole of the road that goes through the citadel area. So now they have control over the road all the way to Khomove. This means multiple things. First off, they are now able to cut off the supplies coming through from Ivanivske from the southwest. And if they manage to combine that with a cut of supplies here to the southeast, then they'll be able to completely capture everything here by the citadel area as they have encircled them. So the current situation is that the Ukrainian forces are being pressured everywhere and they barely have control over the citadel area left. They have somewhat control over the southwestern part. The rest is in a gray zone, which means that the Russian forces are pressing heavily, especially at nighttime, but throughout the days right now. This could also be an effect of Shoigu arriving in Bakhmut. He arrived and it was like, yeah, plenty of ammunition, just go attack, go, go, go. Something in that direction. And then finally, we have these satellite images that was released lately, and we can see just the utter destruction of the whole city in comparison to all the satellite pictures. Just like it is, everything is completely destroyed. The smoke rising from the western parts, and we can see the difference between the eastern, central, and western parts. The eastern parts is somewhat okay. The central part is more destroyed, and the western part is just utter destruction. And then we move on to the next picture. We see here that there's also a lot of destruction here. All the greens is completely gone, and all that we have left is the buildings barely standing, and then utter destruction everywhere with smoke rising, and the same with this last one. a lot of smoke rising and just utter destruction with nothing but the buildings standing, and even some of them aren't even standing anymore. And that is all for this update. Thank you all for watching and have a great day.